If you were reborn into the world of your favorite dating simulator as the villain, what would you do? Would you use your knowledge of the game to exploit the people around you or try to help them? Depicting a fantasy world of lords and ladies, this anime is a fan favorite that explores themes such as power, nobility, and equality. Today, we're going to be looking at a recap of Season 1 of I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss. Departure, Ordinary World, Episode 1. A young girl suffering from an unknown disease is always at the hospital. In her free time, she's obsessed with playing otome games and is suddenly reincarnated as the antagonist. Aileen Lauren D'Autriche in her favorite game, Regalia of Saints, Demons, and Maidens. We first meet her when Prince Cedric of the Elmir Empire dissolves their engagement. At that moment, Eileen remembers the details of the game and realizes she will die during the fight against the Demon King, who she believes will turn into a dragon. She decides to get the Demon King, Prince Claude, on her side to avoid her death, which leads her to go to the Demon King's castle. Eileen is shown as smart and strategic when she keeps her cool and smiles instead of crying when Prince Cedric dissolves their engagement. She is also brave and determined when she confronts the Demon King, Prince Claude, and asks him to marry her despite his initial anger. Eileen is also depicted as feeling hurt and inferior due to the constant negativity she faced growing up as the Duke's only daughter. Eileen values herself and wants to be seen as worthy and dependable. As a child, she felt that no one saw her that way and was often viewed negatively, mainly because of her gender and antagonist role in the game. However, when Prince Cedric proposed, she saw it as an opportunity to prove her worth and become the next empress. Eileen then worked hard every day to become worthy of the position, but even then, she was viewed as an arrogant girl who wanted to be superior to the prince. Despite facing setbacks, Eileen never gives up and is willing to go through anything to reach her goal. Eileen's character is introduced as a villainess who uses dirty tricks and manipulates others to get what she wants. Once considered unworthy and unreliable because of her gender, Eileen faced a bleak fate of negativity and death. However, when an adventure presents itself, Eileen seizes the opportunity to change her own destiny and those of the people around her. With determination and grit, she transforms from a villainess into a dependable hero who will stop at nothing to save those in need. Call to Adventure, Episode 2. Eileen is now tasked by her father to recover the losses faced by the D'Autriche family as Cedric stole all their businesses. She sets off to meet with Prince Claude, hoping to convince him to offer employment to those fired by Cedric. Claude is surprised by her selflessness and willingness to help others. Eileen then gathers a team to fix the castle and start a business, determined to help as many people as possible. With her new team, Eileen helps restore the castle, gets Claude's lost funds back, and forms a new and innovative cosmetic product. Eileen's attitude towards helping people is a defining character trait that contrasts her initial selfish and villainous persona. Her willingness to pay for the repairs of Claude's castle and offer employment to the people Cedric fired shows that she's an independent woman who is compassionate towards others. Eileen, the villainess, starts off on a selfish quest to avoid her tragic ending by meeting Claude, but when her father tasks her with recovering her family's losses, she realizes she doesn't want to be seen as worthless or get kicked out of her family. Her unfair treatment sparks Eileen's call to adventure, igniting a fire inside her to create a more equal and just world. Her experiences will shift her into a more compassionate person who treats everyone equally and never takes advantage of them, despite them being characters in a game. This remarkable journey of transformation from a villain to a hero will help her earn the world's respect and prove her worthiness to stand beside Claude. Refusal of Call. After successfully launching her product, Eileen is focused on increasing sales when Belzebeth appears, wanting to learn manners to support Claude at the upcoming ball. Eileen's efforts have also led to the demons getting along with humans. However, Eileen's happiness is short-lived as she learns that Lilia is receiving threatening letters and is blaming Eileen. Eileen realizes that someone is framing her and decides to investigate. Eileen is shown to be smart as she uses her delicious sweets to get the demons to do her bidding. She is also displayed as caring and protective of Almond when she assures Claude that she will fight anyone who harms him. The villainess also displays her integrity when she refuses to take advantage of Claude's desire to spoil her and instead asks him to escort her to the ball. Eileen greatly values demons and doesn't treat them differently as the other humans do. Her concern for Almond's safety highlights her compassion and empathy towards others. Eileen's character is a villainess who has no trouble taking advantage of others to get what she wants. This is her role in the game. With her knowledge, she can easily have things go her way and make her journey easier. However, when Eileen realizes that she can manipulate Claude to get engaged with her, she resists and refuses to play dirty. Her hesitation at the moment shows the refusal of the call stage of the hero's journey. It is not an easy task to depart from the usual route of the villainess. Still, the refusal will set her on a path towards growth and transformation as she develops her compassion, empathy, and integrity. Supernatural Aid. Episode 3. Eileen prepares for the ball and tries to find the culprit behind the threatening letters. The girl is well aware that she needs all the help she can get to achieve her goals and so requires guidance. Eileen's knowledge of the game serves as her supernatural aid to help her foresee the events that will occur and avoid making any mistakes that her default character makes. As she gets ready for the ball, she feels insecure despite never feeling anxiety before, but her father thinks highly of Prince Cedric and hopes he'll fall for Eileen again. She obtains the real culprit's identity, but learns that Lilia is missing. Cedric sends knights to the Demon Lord's forest to find Lilia, which makes Eileen feel worried for Claude's safety. He accuses Eileen of kidnapping Lilia without proof, but Claude defends her, and Cedric is shocked when he finds out she didn't do it. Eileen's attitude in the episode regarding the ball is a complete shift from her confident and arrogant default character. She shows a massive change as she feels sad that she couldn't do much for Cedric as they both face the same unfair treatment growing up. Her overall behavior shows that Eileen is growing, becoming more of a hero than a villainess. The episode demonstrates that Eileen values intelligence, strategic thinking, hard work, and honesty. She uses her knowledge of the game's story to stay ahead of her obstacles and develops a cosmetic line that becomes immediately popular. As Eileen's journey continues, she faces multiple obstacles and requires help from a mentor. However, there is no such person who guides her. Instead, her knowledge of the game and how the story plays acts as her supernatural aid. She forms incredible strategies to increase the popularity of her product by pitting women against each other. Eileen's journey inverts the framework, requiring her to use her intelligence to overcome the difficulties instead of physical prowess. The crossing of the first threshold. Eileen proves her innocence to Cedric and provides solid evidence that Lilia wrote the threatening letters. She then signs the papers to dissolve her engagement with Cedric, later giving Claude the honor of her first dance as a single woman. She is comforted by him when he confirms that he prefers her over Lilia. However, Eileen is reminded that Claude turns into a dragon when someone close to him betrays him, which raises the possibility that Keith might be the traitor. In the episode, Eileen demonstrates great courage by standing up for herself and proving her innocence to Cedric. She is also willing to change her life and become a different person, abandoning her default character's personality. Eileen's dance with Claude is significant as it represents a turning point in her life. She is no longer bound by her engagement to Cedric and can pursue her own happiness. Eileen has to change in order to achieve her goals in her new reality. Taking the usual route of the villainess means that she will end up with a bad ending. She crosses the first threshold by proving her innocence and standing up for herself to achieve this. According to the game, rejecting Prince Cedric and choosing Prince Claude displays that she's no longer walking on the path meant for her. As she rejects her fate as the villainess and embraces her reality, she's now seeking to change her life and the lives of others. This represents the first step in her journey towards becoming a hero and fulfilling her destiny. Belly of the Whale. Episode 4. Eileen suspects that Keith betrayed Claude, resulting in the Demon Lord becoming a dragon. Keith confesses and tells Eileen that he sold demons to humans to offer Claude the happiness he deserved. Eileen then offers him her alliance, and they formulate a plan to repent for his crimes. Lilia and Cedric corner Claude using Keith's betrayal as an excuse to turn him into a dragon and slay him. Eileen comes to Claude's rescue and shows Lilia who the real boss is. With Eileen's plan in motion, Keith confronts Count Penn, taking the account book with Belle's help and capturing him with his subordinates. Lilia appears and scratches Belle using her sword, thereby greatly weakening him. Cedric and Lilia then kidnap Eileen, and Claude goes to rescue her. Lilia is about to stab Claude when Eileen stands in between and gets stabbed instead. She then absorbs the sword into her body to protect Claude. She promises Claude that she will fulfill his wish of seeing demons and humans happy together. Eileen's attitude in the episode shows that she is kind-hearted and cares about the well-being of demons and humans alike. She is willing to forgive Keith and offers him her alliance, showing her empathy and understanding of people's circumstances. She believes in treating everyone with fairness. Eileen wants to create a world where demons and humans can live together in peace and harmony. She is willing to put her life on the line to protect Claude, showing her courage and sense of duty. Eileen shows that she is the true main character by sacrificing herself to protect Claude and promising to fulfill his wish, even though it may come at great cost to her. The events of this episode represent the belly of the whale stage of the hero's journey, where Eileen will undergo a transformation, completely leaving behind her ordinary world. Her confrontation with Lilia and Cedric, her kidnapping, and her sacrifice represent her journey towards becoming a true hero. The moment Eileen says she is the main character and not Lilia is the highlight of the episode, as it shows her final departure from her old self. By absorbing the Holy Sword and protecting Claude, Eileen demonstrates she is no longer the villainess who used others for her own sake and is now walking on the path of the hero. In the second game of Regalia of Saints, Demons, and Maidens, Eileen, disguised as a boy named Eileen, infiltrates Mish Academy to protect Claude, who is working as the Duke to solve the conspiracy of demons revolting in the land of Mirchetta. Apparently, demon incense will be used, which causes demons to rampage and humans to become physically more powerful. Eileen is worried that the incense will turn Claude into a dragon and he will be exiled again. She must face multiple trials, including dealing with a misogynistic academy, protecting Claude while staying away from him, and taming James Charles, the final boss and student council president. Eileen's growth as a character is quite visible in this episode, as she tries to defend a girl as soon as she enters the academy. Even though she was instructed to lay low to prevent Claude from discovering her shenanigans, Eileen prioritized the girl's safety over her own disguise. This shows how she will go to great lengths to ensure equality and fair treatment among everyone. She is fiercely loyal to Claude and willing to put herself in the enemy's territory to protect him. Eileen's values as the future Empress are clearly visible as she forbids the old teachings of the Holy Sword Maiden, which promoted the poor treatment of women. Her courage and willingness to fight against injustice greatly demonstrate her belief in fairness and equality. Eileen's life disguised as a boy in Mish Academy is only the beginning of her road of trials, which will aid in her growth as the future Empress of the Elmir Empire. As she navigates the challenges and obstacles presented, she gains valuable experience and knowledge that will help her on her ultimate quest to bring harmony between humans and demons alongside Claude. Through her actions and interactions with others, it's obvious that Eileen will be a fair ruler who condemns discrimination of all forms. However, till that point, she has a long road ahead as she realizes that the second game isn't proceeding as it should, as the main character and the villainess of the game are acting oddly. As part of the security team and responsible for solving the vampire case, Eileen finds out the true culprit and witnesses James turning into his demon form quite early in the game. Episode 6. Eileen's obstacles keep increasing as she helps James get away and Walt sees her. He discovers that Eileen isn't a boy, but she outsmarts him by revealing his identity as an assassin sent by the church. Later, as she saves Rachel from the professor who is harassing her, she and Isaac come up with a plan to somehow stop the professor, and they succeed. Eileen later protects many other girls from getting harassed by guys as the school festival approaches. Unfortunately for Eileen, Claude visits the academy daily, and it seems like Selena has her sights set on him. Eileen reveals the church's true intentions of using demon incense during the tournament and gets the assassins on her side. However, after hearing their conversation, James doesn't want to be a part of this. As her trials worsen, Eileen is shown to be resourceful and a quick thinker as she manages to save Rachel effortlessly from the professor. She even positively impacts the second game's Villainess, pushing her to end her abusive relationship with her fiancé once and for all. She confronts Selena, showing her willingness to stand up for what is right, even if it means going against popular opinion. Episode 7. James confronts Eileen regarding her suspicious behavior, thinking she's up to no good. However, Eileen reassures him that she's on his side and cares for the well-being of the demons. As she discovers James' true identity as a Sharte, she realizes that someone is framing him. Eileen tries to protect James and Claude while dealing with obstacles that threaten the safety of the country. During the festival, she tries to prevent the usage of demon incense as much as possible and even provokes Claude to destroy the lanterns containing demon incense at the tournament. Selena pushes Rachel down the stairs, setting the stage for Eileen to compete to become the White Lily Princess. Eileen displays great bravery and intelligence throughout the events of the episode. She takes extreme measures to protect the people she cares about and even uses a sleep potion on Claude to stop him from participating in the tournament. She knows what's at stake if Claude turns into a dragon because of the demon incense, and for the safety of the whole country, she decides to put her life on the line by provoking Claude and using him to destroy the lanterns containing the demon incense. Eileen greatly values the safety of her loved one and her country. Her actions to protect everyone show that she's incredibly selfless and a great candidate for the future Empress, and is incredibly selfless. Episode 8. Becoming the White Lily Princess is a piece of cake for a lady like Eileen, who had to compete in real social circles. She manages to effortlessly charm everyone and wins the competition, but unfortunately, her efforts were in vain as the prize isn't a demon incense. Selena then takes out the real demon incense and uses it, resulting in James becoming a demon. Walt and Kyle try to kill him, but Eileen calms him down and comforts him. The demon incense attracts the other demons nearby, and Eileen reveals her true identity to protect the students and bring her sword out. Later, Eileen tries to reconcile with Claude, gets the student council to work for her, and discovers Selena's connection to Lilia. She discovers that Lilia knows about the game and remembers her past life. What's more, she's actually toying with all the characters and playing with their lives just for her own entertainment. Eileen's actions demonstrate her values of protecting her loved ones and doing what is right. She is willing to go to great lengths to ensure everyone is safe and secure, even if it means risking her own life. She is also compassionate and capable of seeing beyond appearances and accepting people for who they are. Her actions in the episode are noteworthy, as they display that she's come a long way since the days she was a pure villainess. Upon confronting Lilia, Eileen demonstrates that she's the main character compared to Lilia, who is acting like Villainess. Lilia believes that people's lives don't matter as they are just a part of the game, and that Eileen cannot differentiate between the game and reality. However, Eileen disagrees and strongly believes that the people should be treated fairly. She is determined to protect the world from Lilia's evil intentions. Knowing that Lilia is aware of the game makes things more difficult for Eileen. Meeting with the Goddess. Episode 9. Eileen crosses paths with the final boss of the fan disc version of the game, Alphys Levi, who's also a sorcerer. He wishes to meet Claude to appeal to him regarding his family's poor status in the country and wants the Levi family to be recognized as citizens of the Elmir Empire. Later, as Eileen recalls the details of the game and remembers that Claude becomes a possible romance route, she gets worried, and her father adds to it when he mentions that Claude has stabbed and lost his memories. Eileen then meets with the Dowager Express, who bans her from seeing Claude, but Lilia intervenes and says that Eileen deserves a chance. Eileen reassures the demons about Claude's condition and meets him again with the help of the Alphas, but Claude wants to annul their engagement. Eileen is a determined and persistent character, demonstrated by her efforts to make Claude fall in love with her again despite his memory loss. The Villainess, who once wanted to save herself, went out of her way to meet Claude despite knowing she could be killed for it. She is also empathetic towards the oppressed Levi family and advocates for their rights, showing her compassion. Eileen faces a major setback as Claude loses his memories, demonstrating the all is lost moment in the hero's journey. Meeting Alphys proves incredibly beneficial for her as he provides her with the means to reunite with Claude and move forward in her quest to win his love back. Unfortunately, Claude wants nothing to do with her and wants to dissolve their engagement, breaking Eileen's heart. Despite this, Eileen's determination and loyalty to Claude and her values lead her to continue fighting for him and the causes she believes in, showcasing her growth as a character. Woman as Temptress. Episode 10. Eileen worries about Lilia's true intentions as Prince Claude goes for an inspection. She tries to recover his memory with Alphys's help and hides in a closet when Lilia comes to meet him with cookies. During the inspection, Eileen dresses up as a knight to stay close to Claude, but he's annoyed by her presence. Demons attack Claude, and Eileen steps before him to protect him. Eileen values honesty and does not want to manipulate Claude with tears or other tactics, as suggested by Alphys. She is also brave and willing to put herself in danger to protect others. Eileen also has great self-respect, and even though she adores Claude, she's not ready to let anyone treat her poorly, and even slaps the Great Demon King when he tries to get rid of her by using a demon. Eileen's relationship with Claude can be seen as the woman as the temptress. Initially, she only wants to use Claude to save herself from a bad ending, but as she spends more time with him, she falls in love with him. This leads her to stray from her original path, pushing her to risk her life for his sake. Eileen's reluctance to use manipulative methods to gain Claude's favor shows that she values honesty and integrity. Similarly, her bravery in standing up to the demons to protect Claude highlights her selflessness and courage. Overall, Eileen's journey shows how falling in love can change a person and make them willing to risk everything for the object of their affection. Atonement with the Father. Episode 11. Claude feels terrible about what he did to Eileen and has recalled some of his memories by spending time with Belle and Keith. He then orders Belle to forcefully bring Eileen to the ball, where he confesses his love to her and asks forgiveness. Alphys appears, revealing his true intentions, and tries to frame Eileen by pouring demon incense over her and making accusations of infidelity. Eileen is forced to play along to protect Almond, but when Alphys kills him, Claude turns into his demon form again. Eileen is forced to retreat, and Claude is drugged with demon incense, revealing that Lilia was the one who took his memories away. Eileen initially resents being forced to attend the ball and confronts Claude. However, she ultimately chooses to forgive him and puts on a brave face to protect Almond when facing the ridiculous accusations. Despite being forced to lie to Claude, she remains committed to her values and tries to do what is best for the people she cares about. She greatly values loyalty, family, and doing the right thing. She is willing to put herself in danger to protect those she loves, as seen when she plays along with Alphys's accusations to keep Almond safe. Her actions also demonstrate her commitment to forgiveness and second chances as she ultimately forgives Claude. The atonement with the Father is a key part of the hero's journey, as it represents the hero reconciling with their past and embracing their true identity. In Eileen's case, her confrontation with Claude can be seen as a form of atonement with the Father. By confronting him about his actions and ultimately forgiving him, Eileen is able to reconcile with her own past and move forward with her journey. Apotheosis. Episode 12. Eileen is on the run with the Imperial Knights chasing her when Alphys tries to assassinate her. Eileen fights back and the two end up falling into his village where they are locked up. Alphys then reveals that he was working for the Dowager Empress to save his family, but the Levi family is planning a coup d'etat. Eileen then escapes using the magic she absorbed from the sorcerer and asks for proof of his loyalty if he wants to really save his family. He gives her his eye, a magic item. She returns to find the demons heading back to the castle in response to Claude's pain. Eileen uses her powers to stop them and promises to save Claude and leaves with Alphys for the Imperial Castle. Eileen values justice, as shown by her desire to save Claude and protect the demons. She also values the use of magic for good, as shown by her anger at the Empress for wasting the sorcerer's talent. Her capacity for forgiveness and empathy shows that she values personal relationships and sees the humanity in others, even those who have wronged her. The reveal that the Empress uses the sorcerers to keep herself looking young adds another layer to the story and highlights the corruption of those in power. It shows a massive contrast between how the world is and what kind of world Eileen is trying to build with Claude. The apotheosis stage of the hero's journey is when the hero achieves a higher level of understanding and insight. In this stage, Eileen receives the magic item from the sorcerer, which helps her to stop the coup and save Claude. This marks a turning point for her as she gains the power and knowledge to overcome the challenges in her path. It also shows her growth as a hero as she has learned to harness her powers for good and is committed to fighting against injustice. With the magic item, Eileen is now much closer to her happy ending than ever before. The ultimate boon. Eileen faces off against Lilia, who has a holy sword of her own and is stopping them from getting to the magic tool. As Eileen fights her off, she tells Alphys to get to the magic tool to break the spells once and for all, but his path is blocked. Eileen uses Claude's magic to increase her strength and defeats Lilia in combat. However, Eileen's borrowed magic weakens, indicating Claude's impending death. Lilia takes this opportunity to take down Elphys, but Almond enters, saving Elphys and opening the door, blocking their path. The magic item is placed, breaking all the spells, returning the Empress to her original state, and giving Claude all his powers back. Claude returns and saves Eileen from the Knights and reconciles with her. Later, as the acting Emperor, Claude frees the sorcerers and offers them proper reparations for the Dowager Empress's actions. Eileen finally achieves her goal of giving her loved ones a happy ending and marries Claude. Eileen shows unwavering determination and resistance in her fight against Lilia, not backing down even when overpowered. Her devastation at the realization that Claude's magic is weakening shows her strong emotional attachment to him. Eileen's reconciliation with Claude and subsequent marriage shows her commitment to her relationship and willingness to forgive. Her ability to achieve her goals and bring about a happy ending for those she cares about demonstrates her strong sense of agency and ability to take control of her own life. After a long journey filled with weak and countless obstacles, Eileen achieves the ultimate boon of her journey by marrying Claude and giving her loved ones the happy ending they deserve. She was once a brutal villainess who didn't hesitate to take advantage of anyone for her own benefit. Now, she is the main character of her reality as she marries Claude and builds a world with him where everyone lives harmoniously. This moment also highlights the idea of returning with the elixir from the hero's journey framework, where Eileen brings back the knowledge and power gained throughout her journey to transform her world for the better. Thank you for tuning into our video. If you want us to recap Season 2, please comment down below. If you have any other request or topic you want us to cover, comment those down below too. Share this video with other anime fans, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.